female characters.
Welcome to another episode of A4 Podcast. I am Jay Petriquin, hosting tonight in substitute of Frank, who has been tragically kidnapped by aliens. We haven't heard anything in several hours, but we have our best Xcom teams working on it. Joining me tonight instead of him is Burt.
Hey guys.
And Marius.
What's up?
And Andrew.
Hello all.
And tonight we have some cool stuff to talk about. Today there was a Nintendo Direct, a 3DS Direct, which was, well, mostly 3DS. They snuck some Wii U stuff in there just to be sneaky. But yeah, we've got a big Nintendo Direct. A lot of stuff was shown, a lot of Mario games. I think 5 or 6 Mario games. I have my opinions on that, which I'll say in a bit. But the first thing that occurred on this whole Direct was actually something I don't really know much about, so I'm going to hand it over to Andrew to talk about Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Yep, Mario & Luigi Dream Team is a new Mario RPG coming out for the Nintendo 3DS, August 11, I believe. It features, well, Princess Peach gets kidnapped basically by dreams, and to advance in the story, you have to go within Luigi's dream to rescue the princess and, save the world, yada, 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 Mario RPG.
I'm already sucked in the story.
Oh yeah, I really like it.
It's so immersing.
And what's really cool, when you're inside Luigi's dreams, a lot of different things can happen, such as there's one part where Mario is running over a bunch of Luigis with a ball of Luigis, making the ball of Luigis bigger to run into a bunch of enemies.
Literally a ball of Luigi. It's the Katamari Damacy of Luigi's, basically. It's pretty cool. Or
another part where a bunch of Luigis make up a giant tornado, and he has to jump over, this chasm using this giant twirl of Luigi's.
Sounds like Freud would have a field day with this.
Oh, yes. It looks really great. The 3D visuals on it look great. I have the video on my 3DS. If you go on eShop, you can download the video in 3D, and it's really good. I'm really excited for it.
Cool.
So guys, we shouldn't talk about the balls of Luigi, because this is going to up on iTunes.
Balls of Luigi, I get it. Hey, no, some of the things I said last episode, I think we're good. But no, alright, so, never mind. Moving on. So, I've never played any of the Mario and Luigi spin-off games. I'm sure we have some listeners who haven't. Give me, the elevator pitch. What exactly are the Mario and Luigi games? How are they different from your mainstream Mario side-scrolling platformer? What's going on with these games?
Well, definitely a lot of, obviously RPG elements. You have health and MP or something it's called. I haven't played them in a while. You get your gear, buttons and new pants and stuff, and you can essentially get different types of attacking. Like in the first game, Superstar Saga, you had a hammer. Mario and Luigi could use fire and thunder respectively, and it's really fun traversing over the land because you have to use different moves, like Mario jumping on Luigi, twirling over, a chasm. It's really unique. The story is always phenomenal, and it has a lot of comedy.
Cool. Well,
Would you agree if I ask you if it's very similar to the Paper Mario games in respect of combat?
Yes and no. I mean, Paper Mario games, I believe, have just a very distinct difference between the two. Like with Mario and Luigi, you have to work with both brothers, not just Mario and maybe whoever's accompanying him. Right.
It's sort of. Yeah, if it's anything like the Paper Mario games, I'm intrigued. I may actually pick this up, but I don't know, for whatever reason, it just seems like something that's hard to get a grasp on what exactly you're doing in it. Is it like a real-time RPG kind of thing?
No,
it's turn-based.
Okay.
Yeah, it's turn-based, but the battling is a lot of fun because all the techniques you can use while you're in the overworld outside of battle, you can use within battle. Like, say you're battling a Koopa, you can, basically steal the Koopa shell and use it to attack the, foe you're fighting back and forth. And it's all precision and, making sure you get everything right, but in the end, it's awesome.
Interesting stuff. All right, any other thoughts on this?
I want it.
All right, that's a good thought. Speaking of things that people want, So, New Super Mario Bros. U is getting some cool DLC in the form of New Super Luigi U DLC, which is we got a look at this in the Nintendo Direct a couple months ago, but now we're getting to see a lot more about it. Basically, what they're doing is they instead of Mario in each stage you're playing as Luigi, it's taking all I believe 82 stages in New Super Mario Bros. U, which there are some cool stages in that game. I enjoyed that game. And they're taking each stage and redesigning it, basically giving you an entire new game of all new levels based around not just new mechanics in the levels, but based around playing as Luigi, who plays a little bit differently than Mario. Basically, he has trouble, if you start to run, he has trouble stopping. It's sort of like a faster acceleration, and he can jump higher. So he can jump higher, but it comes at the cost of being hard to slow down. The way it was pitched, it almost reminds me kind of how Rayman controlled in Rayman Origins. It looks like an interesting new take on the game. The fact that they're redesigning every single level in the game is pretty cool to me. No price has been announced for this yet. Did they announce a release date for it, or just this summer?
This summer.
Yeah. So I'm interested in this. What do you guys think about this DLC?
I personally love it. I mean, a whole 82 or 86 new levels to play, and it seems very fast paced too. So I always like a challenge when I'm playing the Mario games. And like you said, it reminds me a lot of Rayman, and it's very somewhat fast paced, trying to jump over obstacles. And it's the DLC is something I will play time and time again because it just presents a challenge.
Mm. Yeah, I'll definitely agree on that. Like you said, fast-paced. That's the one thing I was noticing, too, is this is a much faster game. Because the one complaint I had with New Super Mario U is that some parts of it felt like were a little too slow. Like, you had to sort of... I don't know what it was about it, but it didn't have that same feel of exhilaratingly running through all these crazy areas that some of the older Mario games can create. But yeah, this looks a lot more faster-paced, a lot more frenzied, and I think just the nature of how they made Luigi different to Mario will help do that.
You have to play the game very fast because you only get 100 seconds per stage, unlike the 300 seconds which you normally get in the game.
Yeah, it's more time trial-esque as well. I forgot about that actually. So we've got some more Mario stuff. Like this first half of it was very Mario centric. New Mario Party game 3DS, new Yoshi's Island 3DS, which I thought was a bit of a surprise, new Mario Golf game, and new Mario vs. Donkey Kong on 3DS. Anyone noticing a theme here?
I believe there's a lot of Mario going on.
Oh, that's an interesting hypothesis.
I was just seeing a mustache theme.
Is this the year of Luigi? Is Mario stealing his year?
What I mean, Luigi's in all of these games except for like Yoshi's Island.
Well, let's be honest, Mario is an
but he's
attention
in
whore.
Title.
It's true.
Let's write a letter.
So of these four games, we've got Mario Golf, we've got New Mario Party, we've got Yoshi's Island, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong with the minis or whatever, all on 3DS. Which of these do you guys think is most exciting?
The Yoshi Island one, because I liked all previous two titles.
I'll second that, yeah.
Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, just because that's more something new, it seems like.
What about you, Burt?
Well, that's the thing. Anything that's a little bit outside from what they usually do. Nintendo likes to reinvent the wheel. They've done the kart a lot of times. They've done it former Mario Golf games. I'd be more excited about Yoshi than anything else, just because it has nothing to do primarily with an Italian plumber.
Besides the fact that he's carrying him around the whole.
Well, yeah, there's that. There's really no getting away from Italian plumbers with the Nintendo franchise. When it comes down to Nintendo, I don't really have any of their current generation stuff. I know, shocking, but for the most part, I'm living over in Xbox and PS3 land. But yeah, I know.
Yeah, seriously, get the 3DS. The Wii U can wait. Get a 3DS.
3DS has a lot.
I've been looking at 3DS. I know that Frank's other half, I will frequently run into her just completely and totally engrossed in it.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to it. I just have to find one used and cheap enough because my ass is broke.
Yeah, yeah. So I had this thought during this we're doing this more or less chronologically, by the way, going through this whole thing. My first thought in the first 15 or 20 minutes of this 45-minute event was, obviously there's a shit ton of Mario games, and I kind of always had this feel, like said before how I'm not that much into Mario. Like, I enjoy Mario games. It's not that much of my thing. I think I've just always felt, and this particular Nintendo Direct was a really good example of, it seems like just Mario is this oversaturated thing now. Like, honestly, it's gotten to a point to me where it feels like shovelware. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but we've got a Mario Golf game, and a Mario Party minigame game, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which I guess is something worth talking about, and Yoshi's Island, which I think looks cool. But the fact that all four of those not only exist and are being made in the same time, and are all worth being shown at this press video, there's just something about that just speaks of a lot of oversaturation to me. What do you guys think about that?
I don't really think it's overexaggerated. Shit.
Oversaturated?
Yeah, I don't really think it's like that because it's just a name and a character. If you take the character out and put a completely new character in, it's like a whole new game and it's fresh and new. It's just because Marius' name is stapled on it.
All right,
that you think it's every time the same.
On the other side of that coin, though, Nintendo is very much like Disney or McDonald's. You approach Nintendo and you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get Mario.
Yeah.
And they occasionally can change the paradigm and do something that's really kind of neat, like what they did with, like say, Paper Mario. But for the most part, it's one of those, oh, here's another Super Smash Brothers. Have that. We're on, like, version 17 of Super Smash Brothers. You know, it's kind of like how Capcom couldn't learn how to count to 3 for Street Fighter for years.
So, yeah, Marius, I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing. I know that they only put Mario on all these games because it's Mario. You know, it's product recognition, it's brand recognition. It's Mario is Mickey Mouse, as I believe as Brental Floss said once upon a time. But the thing is, it's not just that Mario's in all these games. It's that the golf game and probably Mario Party game and the Mario Tennis game that came out a few months ago no one would have bought those if they hadn't been Mario games. So it just feels like Nintendo's starting to do this thing where they just slap Mario on things because they know it'll sell, and they've always done that to an extent. But I just feel like it's getting worse now than it has ever been. Maybe I'm crazy. Call me crazy, but that's just.
I agree with you, but I also agree with Marius. I agree that there's just a bit too much Mario all at the same time, and not only what they announced today, but at E3 they're going to be revealing new Mario Kart and the new 3D Mario. Not to mention anything else they might have out of their sleeve. And if all that would be coming out this year, that's a hell of a lot of Mario. But I also think, it's just Mario. A lot of people love Mario. I personally don't care for Mario Golf, but I know some people that do. Same thing with Mario Party. It's a good party game to play with a bunch of people. I also feel like after this year, we might see a little less Mario because you think about it, 3DS is just getting probably in fluctuation of Mario games, and the Wii U just came out, so they obviously got to make some Mario games for that. But I feel like after this year, we'll see a few less than we have in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Yeah, I hope so too.
All right, so what else have we got here? Going past that, we have Earthbound. Earthbound. Yeah. Little game, you may have heard of it. No, Earthbound is probably one of the. I'm sorry, was it an NES game or a SNES game?
Super Nintendo.
Yeah. It's probably one of the most. I would call it a cult classic, except I think it's also just revered as a classic in general. SNES games ever. I personally never got a chance to play it though because it wasn't on Virtual Console. I know a lot of people clamored to get it on Virtual Console on the Wii and on the Wii U. It came out on the new Virtual Console service in Japan, or is coming out. And it got announced before the end of this year, America and presumably Europe as well will be getting Earthbound on the Wii U's eShop. So that's an awesome thing to be excited for.
I actually bought it for $90 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
And now I'm going to be able to get it for $4. And at the moment, let's say before the announcement, it went for $300 on eBay.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about, how the prices are going to go down on that right now.
Well, there's also a difference between owning it virtually and owning the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the game isn't rare. It is only sought after, and that's why it's expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those constant hot items. Yeah, I'm one of those people who I prefer to have a physical copy whenever I can, but for stuff like this, I'm probably not gonna. Like, I don't own a Super Nintendo. The oldest console I own is a PS2. So there's some older stuff I'm not gonna be able to play physical copies of. So I think it's still an awesome thing that they're re-releasing this for newer people to see, because it's one of those games that even if you haven't played it, you can just watch a little bit of it and understand why it's such a well-revered game. Like, I'm really excited to be able to start playing this game. So other stuff, they hopped into Wii U talk for a little bit. Are me and Andrew the only people in the chat who own a Wii U? I believe so.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. So, the Wii U has had some problems. It's had some loading problems. It has had really bad loading problems. Like, remember when Duke Nukem Forever came out, and people were timing the absurd load times for, like, doors to open and stuff? That's kind of what the Wii U has been like so far. They're finally fixing that. They're getting a lot of system improvements. I am spacing out on what the other improvements are. Andrew, help me out.
Well, as you said, they're improving the load-up times. I believe the current load-up time is about 17, 18 seconds, which sucks.
I've had it be longer.
Probably. And the new load-up time is like 4 seconds, maybe. It's really nice.
You also can boot straight into the V menu from start by pressing B.
Yep, if you hold the B button while you're starting up the console, you go right into Wii mode, which I think is really nice, although I prefer the Wii mode to be the Wii U mode, because I think it's ridiculous to go an extra step. Next week, they're also adding Virtual Console to the Wii U, and for those who own a Wii and have transferred their data over to the Wii U, you can actually transfer that into the Wii U part itself for $1 for each NES game and $1.50 for each SNES game, which I think is fair. We can play it on the Wii U gamepad and enjoy it on our Wii U menu itself.
Anything to let me play Chrono Trigger in HD and Link to the Past. Oh my god.
Super Mario World for me.
Yeah. Hopefully N64 games as well. They did say they're gonna start doing N64 games and Game Boy Advance games, which is interesting. I'm interested to see what GBA games they decide to port. Going back to the Wii mode thing, the Wii mode for those who don't know, because this is like one of those things that no one who owns a Wii U has told anyone about, because I can see people who are thinking about getting a Wii U not getting one because it's so stupid. Basically, the Wii U, if you want to play a Wii game on the Wii U, you have to cold boot the system. Like, it has a little thing called Wii mode. You hit that, it turns off for a second and starts booting itself back up on a Wii as a Wii. Still has the same amount of memory space for any Wii Virtual Console games, regardless of the actual memory space of the Wii U system. And basically, it takes an extra up to a minute to reload itself just to play your Wii games. And personally, I don't know about anyone else who owns a Wii U. I still play some Wii games. I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't. Personally, I do play Wii games and my Wii Virtual Console stuff pretty regularly. I still enjoy Xenoblade Chronicles now and then and stuff. So to be able to actually boot it up as a Wii, it's a ridiculous mode to have in there, but that's pretty cool to have. So what else? Oh yes, Game & Wario. Game & Wario is the new WarioWare game coming to the Wii U. June 23rd, we got our release date for it. I believe they showed some mini-games for that as well, so for anyone out there who enjoys some insane, absurd mini-games, go for that. I know nothing about these games. Let's see, what else we got? Animal Crossing got a 3DS bundle confirmed to the US. Andrew's excited.
I'm very excited. If it wasn't white, I'd probably get it, because I really want an XL, but I just think it looks like a baby toy. It looks like the pattern looks like something you would line a baby's crib with. It really does. I don't want to be playing Fire Emblem on that. It just looks silly. I mean, I absolutely love Animal Crossing. I can't wait for June 9th, Gonna be there at midnight, hopefully, get my strategy guide and probably play for 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Trevor was here, he would definitely be geeking out with you. I know he's really excited for that.
I think I've grown out of it.
Yeah.
I used to play it a lot back on the DS and GameCube, but I'm not really excited for the new version. I don't know why I'm not excited, but I really think I just grew out of it.
Did you play the Wii version?
Yeah, I did.
That's probably why, because the Wii version, sucked, because it was basically the DS version with the city stapled on.
City.
That was it, and I didn't really get a lot of enjoyment out of the Wii version either. I got burnt out of it for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never played any of those games before, but I'm kind of excited just leeching off of Andrew's hype because I see him fairly regularly and he's constantly talking to me about how cool it is. So I will probably get this. And yeah, and we were talking to Burt about reasons to get a 3DS. I'm sure that will be one too.
Get it.
Yeah, do it.
I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah. Don't get the 3DS XL that comes with it though, because it looks silly.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. So
the whole 3DS thing. If I do get one, I can guarantee I'm going to go straight for all the Castlevania titles.
The 3DS Castlevania or the DS ones? Because
any of them really. Castlevania, I'm kind of a sucker for.
I have been advised heavily against by Castlevania fans. I've been advised heavily against the 3DS one.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Also to keep in mind.
And honestly, I could have told you that just from watching some of the cutscenes for it and stuff. It just doesn't.
It's terrible. It bombed so bad over here.
Some of the latter Castlevania games have been pretty awful. I never really did get into Lords of Shadow, despite the fact that it was introduced by Jean-Luc Picard. Jesus Christ, what do you need out of a game to get you engaged? And I'm sorry, it wasn't happening. It was like playing Devil May Cry, but with whips.
That's surprising. That's one of the ones I hear often as being lauded as one of the best games in the series.
For me, it's all about how close you can get to Symphony of the Night. I essentially would play clones of that game over and over and over again.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, Bravely Default Flying Fairy. This is one I'm excited for because I'm a Square Enix fan when they do things right, which is, but Bravely Default Flying Fairy was this game that came out for the 3DS. I don't remember exactly how long ago in Japan. It was a while ago.
It was last year.
Yeah. And it was being shown when the system was first being shown at E3 for the first time. We've known about this game for quite some time, and people have wanted it. It's a pretty cool-looking RPG. It looks like it's going to bring a lot of interesting stuff to the table, and people really wanted it in the U.S. We're finally getting it. After people thought it was coming out when Square Enix licensed the term All the Bravest, which turned out to be for that awful Final Fantasy iOS game. We're finally getting Bravely Default Flying Fairy, which is coming to the U.S. They did not announce the release date. We know it's coming out sometime in 2014. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait even longer, but oh well. I feel like this is kind of anyone who's a fan of the Project Rainfall stuff, such as I was, will be pleased to find out about this, because this was kind of a similar game where no one really knew if it was localizable, because it's kind of one of those games that's just bizarre. I mean, from the title alone, it's a strange-sounding game. But, that's coming out, and that's something to keep your eye on. Speaking of 3DS stuff, of course speaking of 3DS stuff, what am I talking about? Level 5, who created one of my favorite games, Liberation Maiden, one of my favorite 3DS eShop titles, is coming out with some new games for the 3DS eShop. 3 of them. We've got the Starship Damery, which looks like sort of a first-person horror adventure. Looks a little bit like Resident Evil Revelations did. Attack of the Friday Monsters, a Tokyo Tale, which is... I like this one a lot. It's, we don't really know much about it. It looks kind of like a point-and-click adventure game. Basically, the story is you're sort of growing up just casually in this world that is constantly inhabited by, the superheroes and giant Godzillas and evil mechs from, Tokyo media. And so that looks interesting. And then you've got Bugs vs. Tanks, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Favorite!
That is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, hey, before we get any farther, we forgot one Wii U detail.
Oh, did we?
Yep, Pikmin 3 was talked about for a bit.
Oh, yes.
Pikmin 3, they revealed a whole new, Pikmin that they actually showed at E3, and they were like, oh, hey, guys, you're stupid, you didn't see it. And while they didn't actually announce the release date during the Direct, they tweeted it just after. It comes out August 4th this year, which is a bit later than I was hoping for, but looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Iwata was so excited about the flying Pikmin that
yes, he was.
couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And it's there. It was also on the cover. It's here.
You fuckers missed it. Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, he was so
like
excited
a little
about
kid
it.
on Christmas.
Yeah. He was so
Pikmin
excited
3.
about it, he forgot to say the release date.
Well, I've never actually played a Pikmin game before besides Nintendo Land. It actually looks really good. Definitely thinking about picking it up when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out.
Looks very beautiful, and I can't wait to see the HD visuals within it.
I will say, that release date wounds me, because we were at a point, we finally got the first couple Wii U games released of note since the system's launch, which were that Lego City game, which supposedly is actually very good, I've been hearing. and then Monster Hunter on Wii U, which I will probably be getting soon. Yeah, I will. But
if you can run the Lego City, it probably has a leg up on the new Sin City.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Not Lago City. Oh.
So, just to go back on the 3DS download titles, I wanted to say that those games actually got released in Japan in a compilation called Guild 2, which was the same kind of compilation which the previous Liberation Maiden was released in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. They're basically mini-game collections of four games, normally.
And this includes the ones we were talking about, the Starship Dammery.
Yeah,
Bugs vs.
all
Tanks.
3 of them are in the new compilation.
Do you know anything about how those games were received in Japan? Are they any good?
The first one was well received. The second one hasn't yet been released.
Well, the second one is called Bugs vs. Tanks. I don't think there's a lot of mystery there.
Yes.
I'm honestly just intrigued by the third one, Attack of the Friday Monsters, a Tokyo Tale. Reminds me of this movie coming out that a friend of mine's been talking about called Pacific Rim, where basically monster, like the stereotypical Japanese monster attack, like you see in Godzilla or Cloverfield, it has become so common that it's just an everyday part of Japanese life, and they're completely used to it. And that kind of seems like what they're going for with this game, so I'm interested in that. And Starship Dammery looks like it'll be cool. Again, it looks like a sort of first-person Resident Evil Revelations horror-type adventure, so that'll be cool. Here's one that I know Marius is why would Marius be excited for this? He doesn't live in the U.S., but here's one Marius will care about. Shin Megami Tensei 4 launches in the U.S. July 16th. So Shin Megami Tensei 4 looks really great. It's getting this big build-up right now. Has it been released in Japan already?
No, it's on the end of May 23rd.
Right, and I assume you'll probably be importing that version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what we get is this pretty cool first, like, it's not even a limited edition or special edition, well, it's a limited edition, but it's a launch edition, basically, where you get this soundtrack, you get this enormous art book, and you get the game with a cool little slipcover on it. And it's a pretty big collection at no extra cost. You know, the hook being that it's only a very limited edition. But if you get this game on day one, you get all that extra stuff at no cost. So that looks amazing to me. And Marius, didn't you say there was something else the Japanese version is getting too?
On selected retailers in Japan, you're going to get 2 wall scrolls, which are basically posters made of cloth, which you can put on your walls.
That's very exciting. I know I'm going to get Shin Megami Tensei 4. I've been getting into that series in the last few months. I got Persona 4 and Devil Survivor.
Have you played any of the main games?
I have not.
You should try picking up Nocturne. It's on the PS2.
That's one I've been meaning to get. That's what everyone says is the go-to one if you want to try out more of an original Shin Megami Tensei experience.
Yeah, but the start is pretty boring. You should wait like 5 to 10 hours until it gets started. Yeah,
that's another reason to get a 3DS right now. We're getting a lot of good RPGs right now. Like, we got Fire Emblem, we got Etrian Odyssey 4, we've got this new Shin Megami Tensei coming out. We had Shin Megami Tensei Soul Hackers just came out in the U.S. today, I believe, or a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of good substantial RPGs, which I don't know about you guys. Personally, I feel like the turn-based RPG is one of the best portable kind of games you can have. So what else?
Did you see the Shin Megami Tensei 4 cover from the US, which was also unveiled today?
I did not.
It's basically the same cover like the Japanese one. It even has the Japanese letters, and in tiny letters above Shin Megami Tensei, which is going to be so distracting for retailers if someone asks for the game, because the letters are so tiny, the Japanese ones are so big.
God. Yeah, that's always a big mistake when they do that. I think they've done that with a lot of the other English releases and American releases before, too. Alright, so, winding things down, we had a new Professor Layton game right now, Professor Layton and the Arzian Legends. I have never played any of those games, but those have a pretty big following. Those have one of those big cult followings, kind of like the Ace Attorney games. But to end things off, we got one pretty cool big announcement, and I can sense Andrew getting an enormous boner in the other room, and I'm really scared that he's in my house. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past sequel unveiled for 3DS. Oh my God!
Well, they never actually said it was a sequel. They just said it takes place in the world of Link to the Past.
Sequel, prequel, midquel, whatever you want to call it, new Zelda 3DS game in the world of A Link to the Past.
Zelda. Man.
Yeah.
We're getting 2 new Zeldas this year. Technically 4, because we actually forgot to talk
not
about
2 new Zeldas.
But,
yeah,
did you guys know Nintendo actually said at the beginning of last year they didn't want to release the Majora's Mask remake because they first wanted to release a new Zelda game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it to be called a port console.
Oh,
Yeah,
So, basically, once this is out, we are going to get Majora's Mask.
Oh, man, I hope so. I love Majora's Mask.
That wouldn't surprise me if we did. Yeah, and I remember them saying, like, we kind of knew this or something like this would be coming, because they've been talking for a while about wanting to take the Link to the Past formula and do something new with it, which I'm all for. Like, that's one of my favorite, that is one of my favorite Zelda games. I'm all for that, and this looks really interesting, what they're doing with this. Basically, it's trying to take advantage of the 3D perspective by creating sort of height-based puzzles. Like, they've made an emphasis that all the dungeons are sort of multi-level, and you can jump up and down between tiers of the dungeon. We haven't really seen a lot about the game. Like, it's a pretty short video that we see, but we see enough to get a chunk of, okay, this is definitely the same world of A Link to the Past, which is beautiful and vibrant as ever, in 3D. Looks pretty cool, a little cartoony, kind of like how Phantom Hourglass looked on DS, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But,
the character design is actually the same one which was on the original box art of the first Zelda game.
Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even notice that, but you're right. It's the short little stubby Link with his flat hair.
Another related news, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons were announced to be released on the US 3DS eShop May 30th, and will retain their connectivity just like in the original games.
How about that?
Yeah, so still with the passwords.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you can still get the passwords online with the other games, so that you don't have to buy both of them.
Yeah, but I think you don't need the passwords. They actually did the internet connectivity, so it'll sense the other game on the SD card or on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Those are the only Zelda games I've never played. Zelda is one of my favorite series, but I am ashamed to say I've never played either of those games, so the Oracle games will be cool.
They haven't been made by Nintendo, they have been made by Capcom.
That's true. Well, so is Minish Cap, and that was a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So back to the Link to the Past sequel real quick. What are you guys hoping to see out of this? Like, what do you guys want this game to be, ideally, in relation to A Link to the Past? Like a sequel, a completely unrelated adventure in the same structure of Hyrule? What are we hoping for here?
I want unrelated adventure. I want something new. I mean, yes, a sequel would be cool, but I want something new. We haven't got a new Zelda game since Skyward Sword came out, and I want a new adventure.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Marius, what do you think?
I don't really care as long as it's 2D, because I loved the 2D Zelda games. They are my favorite ones.
Yeah, I'll agree. And I really like the top-down style of this. Like, my problems with Phantom Hourglass notwithstanding, because those were more through level design than anything, I really like Spirit Tracks for its use of a 3D top-down environment, and I think if Link to the Past follows some of the same cues and just improves on them, this new Link to the Past sequel, it'll do well. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel. I feel like that's a game that doesn't particularly need a sequel, mainly because it was originally a prequel to the first couple of Zelda games. I wouldn't mind seeing, like you guys said, just an unrelated adventure. Probably because I've been banking on, where is our, like, legit spin-off Zelda? I would love to see, like, a legitimate spin-off Zelda game of some kind.
There is one. It's called Tingle's Rupee.
Shut up! Those don't count. We've been over this. But you know what I'm saying? Like a legitimate Zelda, like, adventure that's just not about Link or Zelda or Ganondorf or the continuity of those characters. Just something outside of it. Make it about the Sheikah tribe. Make it about, like, survivors of the Sheikah genocide. Like, they have all this dark history in these games that they could use to make some interesting new adventures. I think that'd be cool.
What about Tingle?
Tingle can die. And should die. Burt, you've been quiet. Are you much of a Zelda fan?
I'm gonna tip my hand on age here. For the most part, I remember playing it on the 8-bit systems. I'd love to see some kind of retro touches to it, and I'd like to see them do something new with it. Like we had mentioned before, Nintendo's really good at kind of repackaging the past. They're really kind of nostalgia-based. If they can break the mold with something, so much the better. it would definitely be something to see.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think that's part of what the power of this game is hopefully going to be, is that, like you said, they've been very good at reselling the past. So if they can combine the nostalgia everyone's hoping for and jerking off over with new experiences, I think it'll be fantastic. I think it'll be something great. Because I think in the end, Nintendo, they add new innovations a lot, but they still add new innovations to their classic things. Like I was saying about how Mario is used for everything. They just use the same properties over and over. But if they can find the right balance of giving the people what they want in terms of nostalgia and creating new things, I think that'll be really cool, and hopefully that's what this game will be.
The dungeon they showed actually looked just like a dungeon from the Jack Bros game on Virtual Boy.
From the what game?
Jack Bros on the Virtual Boy, which is the first Shin Megami Tensei game ever released in the West.
Oh yeah, you told me.
So if you want to play all of them, get a Virtual Boy.
Oh boy.
But yeah, if you're ready for a new Zelda adventure, check that out. Hopefully, it's supposed to be released this holiday. Hopefully that won't get delayed. If it did, I think we'd live, but that'd be really cool if it didn't, because I, for one, am hugely excited about this.
You know what's funny? Japan is going to get it in spring, while you're going to get it in winter. Which is
really?
just why? Yeah. The game is being developed in Japan. Why does it take longer to get released in Japan than in America?
Sometimes. That is not the first time. Hasn't there been some other Zelda games that happened with? I feel like the DS ones that happened with. Oh man, crazy.
I think it was like 2 weeks with Skyward Sword, but that's not like a half year.
No, yeah.
So, insofar as gaming that everybody's doing now, what are we looking at? I know that I've had a couple of different titles I'm going through, but let's go ahead and hear what some of the other folks have to say. Jay, what have you been on lately?
What I've been on, well, I talked last episode about BioShock Infinite, which, I also reviewed. It's fucking fantastic. I've been playing the 1999 mode on that. 1999 mode is not the bullet hell, like, just awful grind of a game that I was afraid it would be. Like, it's actually a lot of fun on 1999 mode. It's just a very harsh challenge, especially until you get the shield. The first section, the first main battle in that game before you have a shield is probably the hardest part in 1999 mode. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun going through that again. I would recommend playing it on normal or hard first, just so you sort of get a feel of what you're going to be going through, because it's a lot easier to get more creative and strategic when it's more desperate for you to keep what health you have left and sort of keep going in 1999 mode. Knowing where you're going is a big asset in 1999 mode. So I would definitely recommend playing it on normal or hard first. I didn't think I was going to have anything new gaming-wise to talk about, but then I found Bayonetta for $10 at Target, so I got Bayonetta for $10 at Target, which I had never played. I never played Bayonetta. I was interested in Bayonetta 2, which got announced for Wii U. I never played it. But
it's boobs, hair, and guns.
It is all of those. And I needed a game like that right now, because especially after BioShock Infinite, hey man, alright, so as much as I love a game like BioShock Infinite with just this dramatic, insanely well-written story, it's so deep, you need a game like Bayonetta once in a while to just unwind. Like, Bayonetta is the most over-the-top thing I have played in a long time, and I'm loving every second of it.
If you want something that's kind of over the top, go look at Asura's Wrath if you haven't seen it. That could be another one of those palate cleanser games for you where you just need to take down the god from the skies.
Yeah, and you have to buy a DLC pack to end the game.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, you have.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
kind of a dickish move on the part of the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Capcom.
Yeah. That's Capcom for you, but yeah, Bayonetta is a lot of fun. I like the combo system because it's very button mashy combos, and I tend to button mash my way through those kinds of games. So this allows me to button mash while accidentally doing really well. So that's nice. Besides that, I can't think of much else I've been playing. I played a little bit of Bastion. I hadn't played Bastion in a while, but I've been looking at the stuff for Transistor, which is the next game from Bastion's studio, and that looks like it's going to be every bit as fantastic and fun to play as Bastion was. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been playing a little of that. Andrew, what about you?
Well, I actually just picked up the Ultimate Rapture Edition up at GameStop for $30. Includes Bioshock 1, 2, and about $40 worth of DLC for the games. And I can't say I love it yet, but as Jay has told me, I have to play more of it to just, get immersed into it. I mean, I've enjoyed it so far. I just killed my first Big Daddy, terrified the shit out of me.
As well it should.
Yep, I decided I'm going to save all the little sisters, even though every single one of those little shits deserve to die.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I'm doing it for the sake of achievement whores.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's the only reason I went back and I played a dickhead character in Fallout 3. I wanted the full achievement, so I guess I gotta be evil for a little while.
Other than that, just more Monster Hunter Ultimate. I picked up the 3DS version, so now I have both, so I can transfer the save data back and forth, and I probably put a good 80 hours into it now, and I can't see myself stopping anytime soon. It's crazy fun, the amount of armor, it just, yeah. Other than that, just a little Fire Emblem here and there. I've been meaning to start a new mode on it, but other than that, nothing new.
Yeah, you mentioned Bioshock. I know you've never played the original Bioshock before. To me, that's one of those games where you need to see the complete package before you can really build an opinion of it.
Well, I'll probably be playing more this weekend, hopefully get through.
So you're saying you have to have played the second game and the third game to think the first one is good.
Yes. Yeah, yes, Marius, no one thought the first Bioshock was good until 2 weeks ago when Bioshock Infinite came out. That is exactly what I am saying. Yeah, exactly.
I blame Elizabeth.
Yep, pretty much.
But, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. We were about to ask the same thing.
Yeah, I was curious as to what Mario. Wow, we keep coming back to Mario. I was wondering what Marius had on his plate.
So, last time we have been talking about Planetarian, which is the first key game which got translated into English. So I put my dollars where my mouth is, and I bought the game of iOS platform, and played through it in one sitting. Was pretty good, but also pretty short, but I hope they're going to translate more of the games. Then I played Liberation Maiden just before we started this podcast. It took me about 1.5 hours to beat it. It was fully worth the $4 it costs. Then I played Hawken, which is a mech shooter for the PC. I also played Super Meat Boy, Minecraft, and I showed Jay my server on Minecraft.
His server's awesome. It's one of the coolest servers I've seen on Minecraft. It's really cool. A lot of redstone stuff.
Okay, and then a package arrived at my door, for which I have been waiting now a few weeks. You probably are all saying, did he get his Oculus Rift? No, I did not. I got my Razer Hydra, which is basically the best virtual reality controller in the market at the moment.
I've heard sexy things about that. Good thing.
So I got the Razer Hydra with Portal 2, and I completed the game in both the DLC packs and the normal mode. It was a pretty good game, but in the game is a game-breaking glitch which occurs randomly at a few versions of the game, and you can't stop this glitch even if you reinstall the game a couple of times. This glitch is still occurring. It's this funnel through which you have shoot things. You know what I mean? This ray of light tunnel.
Yeah, I think so.
Every item and enemy falls through this funnel. So you have basically to jump in there and grab them and do it manually. Which was pretty terrible, but I handled it at the end of it.
Wait, was this your first time playing Portal 2?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh, that's an experience.
That is.
Best game of 2011.
It's always nice to hear someone's opinion on the game right after they played it and beaten it for the first time. What do you think about it?
It was pretty good, but it's also way overhyped. It's not like the best game ever. Best puzzle game ever. It's a
I can
good
see
game.
that. I can see that. I think a lot of the people who love it, myself included, is just personal opinion. Like, just the story, like, the gameplay I really did like, but I also liked it in the first game. I think for me the storytelling is what sold it quite so much. But yeah, great game. Glad you got to try that for the first time. You played the first Portal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I got it when it was free for students.
Ah, cool.
And then I played the Tuscany Oculus demo, which works with the Razer Hydra, even if you don't own the Oculus Rift, and I've been playing around with that a bit. And then I bought a few games, which I haven't played yet. So I got Team Fortress 2 for the PC, which I mainly got for the Oculus Rift.
Oh, yeah.
And I already got the in-game hat for the Oculus Rift, the VR rectangular headset, it's called in-game. Then I got Skyrim, which gets Oculus support through hacking. Then Half-Life 2, which also has Oculus support through hacking. Mirror's Edge. And I got a Virtual Boy emulator for Oculus Rift, which is the first Virtual Boy emulator which actually has VR.
Unrelated.
Hmm?
Oh, I was gonna say unrelated subject. If you're enjoying Team Fortress 2, I'd pick up a game called Poker Night at the Inventory.
Yeah.
You could, it's pretty unique character conversations. If you actually pre-order the second one within the next few days, you actually get the first one for free. And a lot of unique items for Team Fortress 2. I was just throwing that out there.
And the Heavy from Team Fortress 2 is one of the people you're playing against. It's pretty special.
In the second one, you get to go against Claptrap. Alright, but go back. Sorry.
Okay. Then I got my hands on BioShock for the PC for only like $3.
Ah, yes. Another BioShock virgin.
Yeah. So I guess my PC is now officially Oculus Rift ready. So once my dev kit arrives at my door, I can plug it in and play all the games I've already edited and patched so they work with the Rift. Also, I'm going to get Doom 3 BFG edition for the Rift.
So have you played any of BioShock yet?
No.
I
just installed it.
You're in for a good ride, Marius.
I
That's
love
a good one.
Because we have two people who are just starting the game, and then we have me and Burt over here just bouncing in our chairs, just barely able to hear the opinions from these guys when they beat it.
Well, let's say we both hate it. What would you do?
Well, I would go into the other room and strangle Andrew. Then I would fly to Germany, find you, and beat you with some kind of stereotypical German blunt object. A sausage of some kind, perhaps.
This is the point where I would usually say, well, this is America and everybody's allowed to be wrong. I assume that you're allowed to be wrong also in Germany. But...
Yeah.
Wow, you got a lot on your plate going over there. I do envy you the chance to play things like Team Fortress 2 on the Oculus. That's really going to bring a lot to it. But really, man, if I could get a chance to play Mirror's Edge on that, first of all, I think I'd vomit. Second of all, I'd be overcome by joy because that's one of my favorite games.
So you joy puke. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Well, it's bad enough. My roommate would occasionally, come out while I was playing the game, and he'd see me fall off of a roof or something like that, and I'd just see him lurch. I can only imagine what that effect would be like doing that through the Oculus. That could really get some people torqued.
I actually saw a video on YouTube of a full-grown man playing Mirror's Edge for the first time, and he misses the first jump using the Rift, and he really starts screaming.
Oh my god. Oh man, that's impressive.
Yeah. That's a game I'm actually kind of scared to play with the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
But Portal 2 also works with the Oculus Rift now.
Man.
That's going to make you vomit.
Holy shit, that's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait until the Oculus Rift comes out. I will definitely pick one up. I think that'll be worth every penny, honestly.
Virtual reality mech game where I'm actually in the cockpit and can look around and everything? Yes, please. I'm down.
Yeah,
please.
It's free.
Yeah, talking, right? Yeah.
Sweet. Did you have any other in there? I know you had quite the laundry list there.
No, that's about it.
Okay. My list has actually been pretty healthy as of late since the last podcast. I know I missed the last two recordings, so I've basically been I have my chewing gum game right now, which of course is Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Everybody saw the review I wrote for Late to the Game for that, so I won't belabor that. It's just I really like sneaking up behind people and strangleholding them into submission. But the other games I've been playing, I got my hands on the newest Tomb Raider for the relaunch of that franchise. The good news is that it's fantastic. It's an amazingly good looking game. It plays well. It has a good story that engages you. And once you're finished it, you can do exactly what I did and sell it off.
Oh.
It doesn't have a huge amount of replay for me. It was fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I got Infinite coming down the pipe. And as soon as Infinite got put in my hand, that pretty much grabbed me by the short and curlies. I've been on that. It really is a kind of refreshing shot in the arm. Not that BioShock really needs a shot in the arm to be good. BioShock in and of itself, their games tend to be amazing, and Infinite is no exception. The first time that you get Elizabeth ripping open one of the tears and you hear Tears for Fears playing in the background and you almost get hit by a bus, you kind of sit there and you go, whoa, okay, this is getting weird. What the hell is going on? And it makes you want to play more and more. Every time I get to a new zone and it loads up, I'm like, okay, when it loads, we'll go ahead and we'll shut it off. No, I want to see the cool stuff that's happening now. We're going to play another level. And in between all of those, I've actually been going back to a game I'm going to write another Late for the Game review for eventually when I finish it, Sleeping Dogs, which basically is like Grand Theft Auto, but with controls that make me not die every 5 minutes. The thing that will make you die every 5 minutes is that if you are, an American, you're going to turn into the right side of the road and you're going to get hit by a bus. And you're going to wonder exactly why that happened. Remember, in Hong Kong, drive on the left side of the road. Things are going to go a lot better for you. So those are kind of the ones that I've got. And actually,
can I say something to Tomb Raider?
Oh, sure.
So there is something funny going on with Tomb Raider because it was developed in Japan by Square Enix. And Square Enix is known for liking the money very much, and the game is quite a bit cheaper in the US, like $20 to $30 from the Japanese version. So you can select every language in the game which you want to play in, besides the Japanese one. You know why? You have to buy this DLC for $30. So the Japanese people don't import it. And the funniest thing is, on the first day the game launched in America, it wasn't available as a download. So it was actually available for every person. That many otakus, which are Japanese gaming nerds and anime nerds, played it in that version and got up at the next day and saw, I have to pay $30 to continue playing with that version. Isn't that hilarious?
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Speaking of messed up, I'm looking out my window here, Jay, and hey, I think Franny's walking up here. He's saying something about an anal probe in him.
Oh no.
Yeah, it looks like the aliens did in fact get him. I have to go out and help him, but I'm not touching that probe.
Anal probe? Came back at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Was it the right time?
Well, I'm gonna go help Franny and see if I can get him some counseling. But I'll catch everybody next time on the next podcast. I'm out for now.
All
right, see you, Burt.
Take care, guys.
See you later. Well, that sure is dramatic. Now, let's hope he can get it out of him somehow without touching it. But on another note, I got my news here. So it's mostly fast news, so I'm going to rush through this. Say something if you want to comment on it. If not, shut up. Okay, let's get started. Last time we talked about the Devil Survivor 2 anime, and we were wondering how many episodes it's going to have. So it has been confirmed it only has 13 episodes, which is like 5 hours. So they are putting a game which is from 70 to 100 hours long, and putting it into a 5-hour series, which basically is going to ruin the entire thing. But on my own opinion, I don't think it's so bad that the series is going to suck because of one reason. If they're making a new series, means they are making more merchandise, and more merchandise means more figures for me. So I'm actually happy no matter how bad it's going to be. It's the same with the Persona 3 movie, which is soon going to come out. I'm going to get the merchandise because the movie is there, and that's when they are producing it. So, yeah. Any thoughts on that one?
Not particularly. I think I said my piece on the Devil Survivor anime last time, so I'm good.
Okay. So, Ace Attorney 5 has a release date. But this release date has actually been taken back by Capcom. You know why? Capcom did a question-answer session live on Nico Nico, which is the Japanese YouTube. And basically a fan asked him, when does the game come out in Japan? And the person openly said it, and he was a chairman of Capcom. He just said, it comes out on July 25th. And later, he removed that bit of text and deleted it. But there were people which took a screenshot, so we know it.
Huh. Has that game gotten an international release yet, or been slated for an international release, or is that just for Japan right now?
It's going to get released in the US sometime later this year.
Yeah, I remember at the Nintendo Direct this morning, a lot of people were disappointed not to hear news about a release date for that here in the US.
Well, it hasn't even an official release date in Japan, so why should it get one over there?
Official.
Yeah, it's not really official. So, more as Ace Attorney 5 news, a new prosecutor has been unveiled, and it's someone who has been accused of murder, but it's not certain that he has actually killed someone. And you're going to have basically battle justice against him in the newest Ace Attorney game. Okay, guys, a new Liberation Maiden game has been announced, and it's for the PS3.
What?
Yeah, right. Explain
Princess?
this, because it gets me angry. And
Speaking of liberation, I'm glad I pushed that probe out, guys. That thing was cramping my
Frank
insides.
is free.
Frank!
Oh, talk about a bowl breaker. I feel 10 pounds lighter.
Well, we're glad to hear that you're all right.
Yeah. We apologize for the scars.
I'll live. They'll heal.
All right.
So, okay, a new Liberation Maiden game has been announced, guys, and it's not what you would expect of it. It's not like the previous game, which was a shooter. It's a visual novel, which is basically something like a book as a game with dialogue and pictures.
I was pulling for a first-person shooting dating sim, but I'll take it. With stealth elements.
It's actually a mix between a dating sim and a visual novel.
Fuck.
And yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
So okay. In the game you play a Tsukicho Kaido, which is the chairman of the president, and he has the ability to read the thoughts of other people, which is very useful for the president, of course, because you can spy on other people's. But since this is a dating sim, he's going to probably use it in some other way, if you know what I'm talking about. And
no, please elaborate.
There's going to be some kind of politics going on.
Panty politics. Let's hear it.
God damn it, Frank.
The sequel is going to feature various new female characters.
I can hear Marius blushing.
Yeah. Various new female characters.
Yeah,
And
I
their
said it.
breasts sweats.
Oh, God.
Well, there are no pictures yet, but maybe.
Possible.
Maybe you
Marius
have
is very
broken
hopeful.
into the... Yeah. So, okay, that's about that. Any comments?
Yeah.
Just that I'm very disappointed. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. I really
You
like the
played-
original Liberation Maiden. I reviewed it, and I really liked it, but why is this a thing that exists? Why is it being called the sequel to Liberation Maiden? That's what I want to know. This is the
Because
they're
official
off their
sequel.
best.
Liberation
Because-
Maiden 2, Liberate My Tits. Like, what is this even?
I don't know.
I can tell you why it's a sequel. Because it's set after the events of the first game.
Oh, that's how
Oh.
sequels work.
Is it though?
Tell me
Yeah, it
more.
is. Once you have conquered Japan in the game, you're going to become president of Japan, and basically your chairman is going to...
Once you've conquered Japan, all you have left to conquer is the heart.
Oh.
of the chairman.
Uh,
But he has the various other cabinet ministers, which are female. So, yeah.
I just love the way he says that word. So much excitement.
yeah.
Okay,
Alright,
to get
carry
on to
on.
other news, a new Hatsune Miku game has been announced, and it's a Project Mirai game, which is only going to get released on the Nintendo 3DS, so basically you're never going to be able to play it in the West.
Nope,
Okay.
unless we import a very expensive Japanese 3DS, and I ain't doing that.
Like I did. Yeah, and Project Mirai games are not like the Hatsune Miku Project Diva games, because you have an entirely different game system, but it's still a rhythm game. It's just not as hard and not as good, in my opinion. And it's featuring chibi looks of the characters and not the regular looks. So, on another note, we have a new Castle of Illusion game announced. It has been officially confirmed by Sega that the game is in production. Any thoughts on that one?
I loved the original, and ever since seeing the trailer, the untitled trailer pop up last week, I've been really, really excited to see what they had in store. And the Illusion game that came out for the 3DS last year, it wasn't anything stunning, but it was refreshing to see another entry in that vein. And I don't know, seeing Sega return to the reins again with this project, I'm pretty amped.
That 3DS one looked like a GBA game. They could not have made that look less impressive, but I heard it was okay. Oh yeah,
it 3D?
it had 3D, but we're talking 3D in the sense of like Mighty Switch Force, where there's just certain things pulled forward or backward, and it's just very
Right. It's all
very
scaling
dimensional.
based.
Exactly. There's nothing to it.
Wow, that sounds boring.
Yeah, and it literally looks like a Game Boy Advance game. Like, which, there's nothing wrong with Game Boy Advance games, obviously, but it wasn't what that game needed to look like.
It's
which was
not worth
impressive.
$50 nowadays.
It just didn't look magical enough. There was no illusion there, I don't know.
But where there are castles, that's
Oh.
another... Well, on another note, Mine Zero, which is basically a Persona 3 ripoff for PS Vita, has finally a release date. It's going to get released on August 1st. And it even has a robot character which just looks like Aegis. So yeah, it really is a Persona 3 ripoff. But nothing against it. Everyone wants another Persona 3 game. So...
Well, that is your favorite game of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Did we already talk about Shin Megami Tensei 4? Was that already talked about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
We talked about
man.
it. But if you want, you can say something about it once I finish the news segment.
By all means.
Okay. So, the Gallery 6 Elements Kickstarter has been funded and has reached $80,000, which is $20,000 more than they wanted. And they reached a stretch goal for female avatar and for Razer Hydra integration. And it basically is the very first game which is being developed exclusively for the Oculus Rift. And it's an exploration game similar to Myst and those kind of games.
Cool.
Another reason to check out the Oculus. I think we brushed upon some cool Oculus Rift stuff earlier too that Frank missed. I've thought about getting an Oculus Rift, and this kind of stuff makes me want to see what's coming for it even more. What else you got for us?
So, you guys remember the new Pokemon which we discussed last week?
No!
Well, it turns out, even if you have forgotten it, it actually is a new form of Mewtwo.
Nice delayed reaction there. But yeah, I was very disappointed to find this out. I think I said my theory last time on why it would be interesting within the lore of that universe for it to be just another instance of Mewtwo, but they want to keep going with the form thing, which they've been milking for years.
It looks like they downgraded Mewtwo instead of making him better.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool design. I like it, actually. Like, it's got that kind of weird halo and stuff.
Tinier and not as bad as Mewtwo.
Yeah, the original Mewtwo's the more badass, obviously.
Oh yeah, it'd always be.
Yeah, and it's actually a few feet taller.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's kind of, I think... I mean, obviously both of them are psychic types, but I think this one's meant to be more like, it doesn't use any physical strength involved with its attacks, it kind of just manipulates its environment.
Maybe it's like a Mewtwo and Mew hybrid.
Oh god,
so
shut up.
Basically, better
Would suck.
Mewtwo.
Well,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it could be. I hope not, though.
It looks... I like it.
I like it.
To me, like, I have this thing, like, it kind of fucks with the original Pokedex, in my opinion. Like, you know, if I go back and look at my poster on my wall, you know, I don't see this new form of Mewtwo. I mean, like, I don't know, that just kind of bothers me.
I disagree with that only because, like, that's the same as that the retarded no Pokemon after the first 150 were any good argument, which, I don't know. To me, it's the same
You know
page
what's
that...
funny? Actually, over 200 Pokemons have been created before the first game was finished.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First episode of the show, you see a Pokemon that wasn't introduced in the games until Gen 2. You see in the first episode.
Yeah. So, on another note, which is actually the final note, Oculus Rift gets a Virtual Boy emulator. I actually talked about downloading this, but this actually fits in the news segment. So if you guys want to download it, it's called VB JIN-OVR. Google that and you're going to find Oculus Rift Virtual Boy emulator.
I have never got a chance to play anything Virtual Boy, and this might be a big part of what sways me to get the Oculus, actually, is being able to try all the Virtual Boy stuff I never got to before.
Yeah, there are even some beta games which never got released out there in the wild. So you can play the ROMs. So, and I have a single anime news, which is the summer anime season chart has been released. So if you guys want to know what animes are going to start airing this summer, head over to Mushroom Tomatoes and look it up. So that's about it. So Frank, what are your thoughts on Shin Megami Tensei 4?
Oh my god. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed that it's actually coming out on a handheld. I would like another console release. I mean, but the fact is, we haven't had a Shin Megami Tensei, in the numbered series, in, what is it, close to 11 years now with Nocturne?
Yeah.
And I'm tremendously excited. It looks like it's keeping all the atmosphere and mood of that game as well, and the visuals look pretty damn good for the 3DS, so, I don't know, this summer can't come soon enough, I'm dying to play it.
Well, I'm going to be able to play it in less than a month.
Really? Explain that.
Yeah. Japan?
Weren't you just saying in the last podcast you shy away from importing the Persona and Atlas games?
Yeah, but they are going to ship with a book which says how to beat the game. So
what is it, 167-page strategy guide it's coming packed with?
Yeah, 178 pages.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hell of a first run package too. That's a huge incentive for people to buy the game. I don't know. I can't wait.
Alright.
So
also, it's pretty interesting to see they're switching to the whole samurai theme. We're not. It's just interesting to see they're shying away from the modern day kind of setting that they usually go for.
It's actually set in modern day.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the whole premise was the whole samurai bit, Guardian of the Kingdom, yada yada.
Well, they are guardians, but they actually have mobile phones, smartphones, lights, they have everything. It's basically samurais nowadays.
Yeah, it's time travel involved, right? They sort of get dragged into 21st century Japan or something like that.
That's what I was thinking, like time travel or, slipping between dimensions like they've done in the past entries.
Yeah.
But
Which I'm not a huge fan of personally, but I'm sure it'll still be good.
they
I'm gonna
tie
pick
it
it up.
together so well in these games, though. Did you play Nocturne at all?
That's the next one on my list. I was talking earlier about how I played the first Devil Survivor and Persona 4, and that's pretty much it. Nocturne's the next one on my list.
You haven't played Persona 3?
No, that's after that. I want to play Nocturne just because that's closer to the core Shin Megami Tensei game, so I want to play that, then I'm going to play Persona 3.
You have to play the PSP version. It's way better than the other versions.
Okay. Alright.
I can't wait to hear which fiend drives you abso-fucking-lutely crazy. Now, the member of our forums, Luke Newcomb, he was, I remember, basically you can travel around realms through these little network hubs, and they take you from place to place. Well, there's these wandering fiends, one of which is actually Dante from Devil May Cry, which is kind of awesome.
Which is only in the version released into the US and Europe.
Right.
It's not in the Japanese version.
Right. And, they pursue you. And, he was kind of stuck in this area where no matter where he went, as soon as he walked out of a Nexus hub and stepped out into a dungeon or wherever in the overworld, he's just waiting outside the door.
Like, hey, you done there yet?
And he had plenty of, what I think it was Madoon, those instant death spells. So, yeah, he is, 11 years late to beating that game now. I don't think he's ever going to have the nerve to pick it back up. But there are some that are just going to rack your brain. They're so difficult. But it's a great game. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know when I check it out. Maybe I'll even do my first late to the game review on that. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be awesome.
All right, Andrew, you wanna take us out here, bud?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna ask Frank if he's been playing anything new first.
Thank you, good sir. Honestly, I've been sinking a little bit of time into, I said in the last podcast, the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I'm just about to wrap up Sons of Liberty, and again, a lot of the qualms I talked about in the last episode, clunky mechanics, yada yada, still dealing with that, but again, I'm still enjoying it for what it's worth. Aside from that, Modern Warfare 3, a little late to the game there.
A little late to a shitty game there.
Yeah, I do enjoy the campaigns. I'm one of the rare examples of people who seldom plays multiplayer but really enjoys a good campaign, and so far it's been alright.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those games on a game design level. They're fun. It's just that they're all the same game.
Yeah. But having not played a Modern Warfare game since Black Ops, the original, I kind of went through a hiatus there. I was a little burned out, so it's nice to jump back in every once in a while. I'm not playing it steadily. It's more so maybe 2 evenings a week at most. Apart from that, not really playing a whole lot, guys.
Alright, guys, that was another episode of Hey Poor Podcast. If you want to check out more of Hey Poor Player, we have a Tumblr, hppofficial.tumblr.com. We have a Twitter at heypoorplayer.com. We also have a group on Facebook, so go check that out. We also have a Reddit, r/heypoorplayer. Also check out heypoorplayer.com and mushroomtomatoes.com, run by Marius here. Also, just go check out the Hey Poor Podcast on iTunes, and thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
See you guys next week.